Alrighty, folks, we have started a new series on this channel called Ask the Millionaires. And I'm going to pull a card because I'm the creator of this channel. And I'm going to ask Beth 8 questions that I actually got from my mom. Yes, folks, if you're on my channel, you go in the comments and you see Dorothy Zuber. That is my mother. She does watch my videos, which, hi, Mom. How are you? Hi, Mom. So first off, if you ever mean to Dorothy, you will be blocked immediately. Don't do that. Not cool. But yes, this video is going to be for my mom. You ready, Beth?
I am, and I have to say, I'm a big Dorothy Zuber fan. I think she's just the best. So incredibly enthusiastic and positive always, and supportive, and I just love her. So I'm happy to answer her questions, none of which I've heard in advance, by the way. So
No, yeah, we don't do that.
yeah.
So again, she sent this out. I asked on the Daily Financial News, what questions you have for millionaires? My mom, Dorothy Zuber, said these 8. So Beth, you are the first to hear these. Number 1,
Yeah,
are you happy?
I am happy. So yeah, I'm living a great life and I feel super fortunate and blessed. And does it have its challenges? You bet. Do I have my bad days? Absolutely. But overall, would I rate myself a happy person? Yes, definitely. Especially if I was way happier than I was when I was younger, where there was a lot more unknown and things were scarier.
Yeah.
Um, I guess something that comes with time and just surviving difficult things makes you realize that, okay, I can do things and life is good. It also makes you, I think, appreciate the things that you do have in life, the
Yeah.
more that happens to you. So
Yeah.
coming from looking through the lens of where I am now, I am a happy person for sure.
There you go. And folks, do me a favor, if you're watching this and you want to participate, why don't you leave comments below? Let's get the comment section blowing up. And ask number 1, are you happy? Leave comments below. Okay, number 2, what do you tell your children about money?
Yeah. So I try to explain things in real world situations. So I try to put the money lessons in where I see the opportunity to show this is what we do and this is why we do it. And my kids are a little older now. They're 12, 14, and 16. And we talk a lot about good spending habits, saving, how to make money and keep your money, what not to do with your money, stupid ways people lose money that are to be avoided. We point those things out. I was at the Verizon store with my oldest on Sunday. We were looking at phones and we were talking about, for example, with her, like, I don't believe in making payments on phones and stuff like that. So I'm just like, if you can afford it today, and I wasn't just buying the phone for her. She got a job at 16 and she's paying her share. So I'm helping some, but we went through the options of why it's better to just pay upfront, in my opinion, than pay
Mhm.
that over years, and just not just focusing on the payment. And then the add-ons they try to upsell you on, and why it doesn't make sense to do it. Just little everyday things. And then of course we talk about real estate all the time. Uh, their willingness to listen to that varies, and it depends on where they are in their own personal growth, because they're kids and they're focused on themselves and their lives and not necessarily about real estate investing and things like that. But if
Yeah.
they ever are saying, well, mom, dad, why are you doing this stuff? I want to be doing something. Like, how do you think the bills are paid here? Like, this is what pays our bills. This is how you get to live the life that you get to
Yeah.
live, is because we do these things and we made these choices. And so my youngest, who's 12, seems to be the most interested in the business side of real estate investing, which I love, of course. But I do make sure that they understand like how it all works with the tenants and us, and what a mortgage is and what rent is and leases are, and how we maintain the homes, and just the concept of how the value grows over time and how the rent grows over time and how that's going to fund our retirement, and how important it is for them to get into it as soon as legally possible. So already having that conversation with them. We've already started their savings. Every
Nice.
time they get money from a relative, usually, for a birthday, Christmas, whatever, I tell them, like, let me have that, and I'm going to put it's still yours, but I'm going to put it in your savings account so that you can see it grow over time. And instead of just blowing that money, it's
Mhm.
turned into, for kids, real money. So
Right.
And now they rely on that, knowing that it makes them feel good, knowing they have this savings and things they can do to grow that savings and opportunities to earn more money to put in there. And if they ask,
Mhm.
they want, I'm going kind of long on this, but
No, I
if
love it.
they ask, hey, like my son was like, hey, can I buy this, I don't know, model of something? Like, sure. Do you want to spend your money on it? No. Oh, okay, well then it's going to stay right there on the shelf, you know? I
Right.
make very, very sure that I try my best to not, in some ways they might be considered spoiled depending on whose scale you use, you know, but
Mhm.
just their general quality of life. But I try really hard, my husband does too, to not just give, not just automatically buy them all the things they want. They have to think
Mm.
about what it costs and what they can contribute to purchase it, what jobs they can do to help pay for that.
Love
And
it.
I think that really, my goal, I hope, is to give them the good financial um, bedrock to build off. And my oldest,
Yeah.
who's in high school again, she's going to be taking, they do have a personal finance elective at the high school. And so she's taking that next year, which really makes me happy because I've been pushing for that for a long time. Like, you got to learn
Nice.
these things. These things they say they don't teach you in school, they actually do, but it's an elective, at least at this school.
Right.
So important to learn
All
those
right.
things. I have a feeling they don't go too deep on real estate investing on that. So I'm going to make sure to say, look, you don't have to invest in these funds, you know, like you can invest in real estate. Here's why I prefer that. So you
I
better
like it. I
believe
like
I'll
it.
be doing my best to influence that.
All right. Again, folks, leave comments below. What do you tell your children about money? All right. Here's the next one. Has money changed you? And if so, how?
Yeah. Um, I think it has. So I would like to believe that I still have a humble, I strive to be humble and not let my ego get too inflated. But I think what it has given me is a little more of a sense of security and a sense of um just knowing that I can handle what life sends my way, you know, because I remember before I had any money, it felt like I was kind of at the whim of the universe, like
Mm.
car breaks down, you know, random health care expense or throwing, you know, whatever kind of random act of, you know, a random expense that life throws your way. And I didn't have any way to handle that. And I felt like I was just only earning whatever I felt like my ability to earn was tied to what I could make per hour. And that made life feel impossible. And it felt pretty defeating. And so I don't feel defeated now. I think I feel more empowered. And that's probably how it's changed me the most. And also just knowing that I can um afford all, I mean, there is a good feeling knowing that you can afford the things that you want to do, like the life experiences. It's, for me, it's more about experiences and things. I don't need fancy things or bags or any shoes or any of that. I like to have good experiences, and so just knowing I'm able to go on trips with my family, spend time with my parents, and while they still can, you know, that's important to me. So it feels empowering to know that I can do that. And it feels good also knowing that it's something I built myself. I mean, not myself, I mean, my husband and, you know, all the people around that help support, right? But
Mhm.
without me doing it, it wouldn't have happened. So it feels satisfying to know that that's something I achieved. And so there's a
Yep.
certain sense of pride about that.
That's awesome. So, folks, again, has money changed you? And if so, how? Leave comments below. All right. Next one. What should be taught in schools to help the next generation succeed in life? If you could add one course to, say, high school, any thoughts on what you would like to get added?
Yeah, I kind of already answered that. I've started to with the personal finance. I think that's a good start. I don't know if they teach business in high school. I haven't seen that on the list at our local high school, but I think for those that are cut from that cloth or want to see if they are, having that laid out about how to build an actual business, because there's a whole lot on YouTube. It'd be nice to have a class where you can go in there and focus on, you know, creating your own side hustle and turning that into a business or whatever
Mhm.
a teenager might be able to do or young
All right.
adult. I think that would be great. Business.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. The next one. Do you have any golden rule in your life that helps you in hard times? Do you have anything that you lean on, that you anchor on when times get tough?
I reflect back on the difficult times that I've survived before. So I look back at that and I go, okay, I was going through a real hard time not too long ago. And you remember some of the details about that. But I remember my dad saying to me, I would call him in the middle of the night, when I was stressed. And he would say, you're a strong person and you can do hard things. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a strong person. I'm like, you're right. Thank you so much. So that's something I really just kind of internalized. Like, I'm a strong person and I can do hard things.
I
And
love
then I
that.
look back at the things that I've done, not just that time, but other hard times in my life, which there's been a few, at least at this point,
Hmm.
big ones that I can think of, and just go, okay, that was a really hard time and I survived it. And just knowing that there's a beginning and an end to it. Because sometimes when you're getting stuck in the middle of that, it feels like it's just gonna
Never end.
that way forever. And you'll never feel happy again. I remember feeling like that a few times, and then you are. So just knowing that, just being able to just kind of have that faith that things are going to improve over time. But you have to keep doing the right things and just keep moving. You don't, yeah, that's the other thing I do is when the difficult times are there is I don't just stop and then sink into the hole. Like, you got to keep moving. Otherwise you can find yourself going into a dark place. So you just got to keep pushing.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I am a strong person and I can do hard things. That needs to be a t-shirt, I think, or a bumper sticker. I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is going to be the last one. And this is going to be a question to Beth, young Beth, 2025 Beth. Who was the most positive influencer in your life and why when you were a young adult?
Yeah. So when I was a young adult, I have to pick one.
Just pick several.
Um,
Who were they?
okay. So I'll
And
pick
why?
two. I'll pick two
Okay.
around that time in life. This is right when I was getting started in real estate.
Mhm.
So I would say the first was my dad, again, he was an entrepreneurial business owner. He's retired now for some time, but he was a very successful architect. He did custom architectural art glass for a lot of really high profile names and people, and did an amazing job at that. It's hard to be successful in that field, and he was. But he always told me from a long time, he always just it's instilled in me that I was meant for great things and that I had the potential to
Wow.
do whatever. Like, you are the one. If anybody can do it, it's you. You have these special qualities, and just people need someone to tell them that. It may not be your family, but you need to find the person that's going to say that to you, because
Hmm.
I do remember at times where I really wasn't living up to, it was many years where I felt lost and didn't know how to fulfill my potential at all, but just knowing, like, I'm meant for something better than this and believing it. And then eventually I found my way there. It was a long, long road, but I did. And then the other one was my good friend and mentor, John, who, when I first was in real estate, I got my license and we were at the small company in Seattle, and he joined too. And then we decided to join forces and work as business partners. And he was a real estate investor. And back then YouTube had not been invented. We're talking like, I don't know when this was, around the year 2000 or so.
Mm.
Things were very, very different back then. And there was the Carlton Sheets, and there was
Mhm.
a couple locally. There was this guy named Dean Street that did the foreclosure auctions and stuff. And people in the
Mhm.
Seattle area remember him. But there wasn't, if you wanted to have a coaching, like, you had to buy the C. I don't even think it might have been VHS tapes
VHS.
or
Yeah,
CD.
VHS.
I don't know. And you buy it on, you have to call the number, the 1-800 number at 1 a.m. or whatever, get those things.
Yeah,
And they were
I
kind
used
of
to love
cheesy, kind of really
Carlton
cheesy.
Sheets. I remember I think I was 18 or 19, and I would look for Carlton Sheets on the weekends just to watch it again. I was so excited by
Oh
just the
yeah.
possibilities. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
And
fun.
so, and I met somebody who was actually doing this. And
Yeah,
so I've mentioned him before, but because he really got me started, because when we started making some money, and he was like, don't buy anything stupid, Beth,
yeah,
buy a rental, get a rental. And I did. I'm like, okay, I bought my first just for rental, not house hack, strict non-owner occupied, on his insistence. And that really did start things. But he was doing a lot of things that we talk about now. He was, he had a house in Seattle, and there was like 4 roommates living there with him, so he was living there for free. He had his side hustle. He would go up to Alaska and do fish up in Alaska. You make a bunch of money, you work extremely hard, you come back with a pile of cash, and he would invest that into a rental every year, one rental at a time. He retired, maybe, I don't know, what was 5-7 years ago. He and his family with his young kids moved to Spain, and they're living their best life in Spain, and he's
nice.
investing some there. doing whatever the heck he wants. And I still see him when he comes over here. But I love that he's a creative thinker that was really inspiring to me. And he believed that I could do it. It's important to have people that believe in you and people that you can emulate who they're doing it. They're showing me the way. All I got to do is just take action to follow those footsteps. So I say those two people right at that time really kind of planted the seed. And without that, I really don't know that I'd be here today. My life would have, who knows where I would be.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mom. Those were the questions you asked. We got Beth to answer them. I will do my best to get Matt and Dion to answer them tomorrow. But Mom, you're amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for watching the videos, being supportive. You're amazing. Beth, thank you for playing along.
Thank you. Thanks, Dorothy. See you guys later.